whole bunch of stuff, brought a few physical games. The first night, I was like, I'm gonna buy a new game, and that's all I played the entire time.
What was that new game, Mike? Let's
That
let the streamers know.
that was Sonic Origins.
Which is like a Sonic collect.
It is. It's more like official Sonic ROM hacks. Um, because it's like a lot of the quality of life ROM hacks out there, like Sonic One with the spin dash added, or you can play as Knuckles in Sonic One, or like the drop dash from Sonic Mania, like how people have added that to Sonic ROMs. They've done that here, but also made it widescreen.
Okay.
Um,
I like the
you
widescreen. That's
you
good.
can still play the 4.3 versions, and I don't know if you do those classic ones if they take out the quality of life things. If you're just playing vanilla, I'm not sure because I've had no reason to try it. Um, but yeah, no, it's nice. I like it a lot. I'm not noticing any flaws in the emulation. It plays like I remember, and I mean that's after having spent a bunch of time playing it on Mister. So I'd like to think
Okay.
I would notice if there's anything awful about it.
You have to
Um,
pardon me. I spilled my seltzer.
oh
It's
God.
every.
Oh God.
It's a massacre. We're going down, folks.
So let me get a Twitch chat up so I can see it, and then yeah,
Oh, I didn't put any pictures of the seltzer in the chat, Mike. You're okay.
I know you probably lost to June. You'll see her again here in a second.
I'm coming up, folks.
Everything's coming up June.
That's right. I lost half of my lime water, but sure, yeah, life's good.
Tools, color, transparent. Just gonna.
The Dead Chicken says that was a fun D&D battle from the raid. You were raiding?
Were we?
I don't know. Were you?
I don't think we didn't have a battle, so I don't know what's being referenced there.
Yo, did I disappear again?
You did, yeah, and that's my doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be fixed soon.
Gotcha.
I have to. I was. It's not important, but I felt the need to download a Sonic CD logo.
You know what? I respect the game.
The game Sonic CD.
Well, yes, but also your dedication and professionalism.
Well, okay. Pump the brakes on the professionalism part.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a little bit of dedication, but I've never claimed to be a professional.
There's a little bit of dedication, but no professionalism.
I didn't say a little bit.
Should I need to tell you
I
now?
feel like I
Maybe
just got fucked. Honestly. Let's see. Image. Yeah, where's the fuck is? Where is the fuck is this Sonic logo? It doesn't matter. Let's play a video game. There it is. Found it.
Greeting Adventures rated after their stream. Okay.
Oh my
Maybe
god.
they didn't invite you to the raid.
Wait. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about the we rated somebody else after the stream.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. We turn off Snap to Grid.
4 or 5. What's this here? What's happening?
I'm this is the tail end. I'm on the final boss fight of a marathon playthrough that started with Sonic 1, then Sonic CD, then Sonic 2, and then Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Any
I
reason for that order? Or?
That's there's a story, like there's like a mission mode or whatever in Sonic Origins where you play through all the games, and then they have
Yeah.
cutscenes that link them all together.
Okay.
And like I honestly playing them all back to back, I never really noticed that like at least one through three in Knuckles has like a pretty decent coherent story.
Does it?
Yeah, like they're all linked together in ways that I just didn't notice. Cause like you've got like you find all the emeralds in Sonic 1 is the stretch, but they link it together with the cutscene. Like, you find all the emeralds, and then they all, like, kind of gather together and then scatter at the end of that. You find them again in Sonic 2, and then, like, you go up and you, like, you fight Robotnik on, like, the Death Egg. The Death Egg comes crashing down. That crashes into Knuckles Island. And then Sonic 3 is all about, like, about Robotnik trying to launch the Death Egg again, which he does. And while it's launching, you bring it down again. I don't know. Like, as I'm explaining it, I'm like, yeah, this story sucks, kind of. But, like, in just, like, in terms of, like, linking 3 separate or 4 separate 16-bit games together, I don't know. They did a decent job with it.
That's more effort than usual.
Exactly. Like, yeah. That's
you'll never catch Nintendo on that shit.
Oh God, absolutely not.
God, no.
They're like, it was a play the whole time.
Well, like, the Death Egg's the Death Star, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So isn't the third Star Wars movie about rebuilding the Death Star?
Yeah, and the emeralds are the Dragon Balls.
And Knuckles is an Ewok. Technically speaking.
If the Ewoks could throw hands.
How do you know they can't? We only saw them throw rocks at jet bikes, which is just like, that's normal activity where I'm from.
You said I feel like they jump on the back of a stormtrooper at some point, and they're just like,
yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, they should be bloodthirsty maniacs. Like
I have to adjust the volume of this game if I had to guess. Well, I don't need to finish Sonic 3. I can do that later.
What if the Star Wars Holiday Special, which I've never seen, just features like a fucking bloodbath?
Why haven't you seen the Star Wars Holiday Special?
What? Have you?
No.
Oh, okay then.
But I mean, it's still a question.
Yeah, I guess I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
It's a very funny thing to get aggressive over.
be aggressive that people haven't done things that I also haven't done.
Yeah. It would be like, Mike, have you seen the 4th Hobbit movie? And then you're like, no, not yet. And I'm like, fuck you.
Is there a 4th Hobbit movie?
I don't know. But if there is, I'm very mad that you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna play Sonic CD, and you're gonna try and convert me. Or not. Whatever you want to do.
That's a lot of pressure. I'm not ready to Sonic CD pill you.
Do you feel like you have enough do you like remember the level layout well enough for us to go for a good ending?
Probably not, no.
Okay.
But only because that would require me to know where all of the fucking signs are, and there's a ton of signs.
Should we pull up level maps, or do we just need to play this game?
I'm a big fan of playing it, but the thing is, you're a Sonic psychopath. Like, you're very good at the game. So you're probably going to try to do some optimal routing bullshit that I definitely cannot.
I don't need to do any optimal routing. But it's if I'm not getting all the emeralds or time stones, as this game calls them for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on record telling June that that I feel like this game is very haphazard. That the level design is, whereas June would say there's no optimized route. I would say that if you take Sonic components and you throw them all in a blender, of course there's no optimized route. Because it comes out a mess. And I'm being too harsh. I think there are some really good. So there are a lot of things to like about Sonic CD, but I found it kind of frustrating when I initially played it. That being said, I did just beat it like less than a week ago.
What if we go for like an all future run?
And what does that do for you? Does that change the story at all? Does that like?
It changes the level layouts.
Okay.
So basically, future, past, and normal time are all different layouts of the same map. Mm-hmm. So even though you can go between like normal, past, future all in one run, sticking to one like future route and trying to stay in the future will basically show you one branch of the path. I think future is supposed to be harder than past, but I don't remember.
I think it's the other way around. I think past, and you know, you'd know better than I would, but I thought the way I'd heard it was like the past, and this is just somebody adding their bullshit lore to it, but like the past being like all of the enemies are newly constructed, and like they have extra attacks that they don't have, which I did kind of notice. And then in the future, everything's super run down, and there's less enemies around.
It's a little post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just go for the past run then.
Yeah, I like that.
Give me a little challenge.
The past is also where you find the collectibles too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's go, baby. So if folks who aren't unaware, this game originally came out on the Sega CD, a unfairly maligned piece of hardware. I'm really curious to know. Wait, I think it's 1993 this came out in. I'm really curious to know which soundtrack this one is using. Because there is some real, like, arguments within the Sonic community over the Japanese versus the European soundtrack.
Oh, here's one of the new cutscenes.
What? No music?
There's music.
Okay. No, I mean, like, there's supposed to be a song playing.
Oh, they do that cutscene too. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
That's after this. But they just give Amy a little bit of backstory.
45 Wit says, I've never even saw a Sega CD in real life. And thank you for subscribing, by the way. We appreciate that. I feel like my life has been rich with Sega CDs. And it's been better for it. Also, the Wonder Megas are sweet, and the CDIs are sweet as well. CDXI, I think it's called.
Can we talk about how fucked up it is that they came out with a cartoon called Sonic Boom, and they didn't just bring this song back?
It's so screwball, dude. The song is, like, amazing. To me, this matches the cutscene. That's right.
Okay, here's a question, though. Are we going to default this? Are we going to play as Sonic?
I think you should do whatever your heart does and calls to you, because I have no idea what Amy even does.
Amy has like a hammer. Amy doesn't seem very fleshed out. Like I haven't played as her yet, but I don't really feel a strong desire to. But I am curious because you rescue Amy as part of the story, and they probably, if I had to guess, they just did a lazy implementation where you just rescue another Amy as Amy.
Oh, I was hoping you'd rescue like Tails or something.
Maybe. We can find that out.
You should. Can you go back a second and check the options for this one?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious if they give you soundtrack options in this.
So
what the fuck?
Is this just what the spin dash looks like?
Yes, that it.
That's it. That's literally it.
Oh my god.
I mean, like, cool.
Yeah, I guess it's fine.
Some people make their soundtrack.
Oh, soundtrack. Okay. Okay, that's respectable. So this game got an entirely different soundtrack in the US and EU. The Japanese soundtrack, I think, is better, but it doesn't feature Sonic Boom.
Okay, I'm gonna play the cutscene with Sonic Boom, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna switch it to Japanese.
Yes.
Because the Sonic Boom is great, but the US music for the game I think is dog shit.
Yes, it is.
I absolutely hate it.
You know what is awesome? There's a patch for the Sega CD version that allows you to mix and match which soundtracks you want for which levels.
Oh my god, that's amazing. So the level complete like music for Sonic CD in the US version. Have you ever seen those like fake news commercials? Those like brand power ads?
Yeah.
It's literally exactly that. They have the exact same lick at the end of those. Okay.
That's awesome.
All right.
See, Retro's making a comeback, Mike.
Let's get that cutscene.
D. Martin G says, I wanted a Sega CD so bad when I was little. I remember looking at Wizards and drooling over Mad Dog McCree. God. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. This is too important.
That's so good.
Oh, it's remastered too. Doesn't look like it's being played on a postage stamp.
Take a chance, 'cause there is no circumstance that you can't handle when you use your mind. Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom, keeps you running faster. Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom, save the planet from disaster. To the light, it's a supersonic flight. Gotta keep it going. Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom, keeps you running faster. Sonic boom, sonic boom, save the planet from disaster. Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom, spinning through a world in motion. Sonic boom, sonic boom.
D. Martin G, yeah, that was the original opening.
Yes.
It fucking rules.
It's so good.
Alright, go back to
Also, can I say, I feel like all of Sonic Frontiers is just based on that cutscene.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're just like scrambling over random green land and climbing a chain or two.
Sorry. Yeah, I kind
Are
of
you doing Sonic? Okay. You kind of want to win?
I want to hear what the Japanese music is.
You can go again. Don't fall behind. Say don't be late. This nation heaven. Stay alive. Now shooting me. We're going to have fun. Say, nice off. Excalibur. It's about that bar. What do you mean? Give and take. Going home. Side zone. Check it out, eh? Never alone. Leather legs. Getting in place. What do you get? Say, back in. Zoom room. Cosmic zoom. That's up, Jay. It's Sonic boom. Sonic warrior. Sonic warrior.
You always need a pay. You got the power to
I don't hit this part.
So it's very like, this sounds like a TV show intro.
The power is in your mind to shape the planet, to conquer time. To the sonic border, deep is missing time. To the sonic border, river in mind. Nothing can survive the way to stay alive. 'Cause if you try, you can do anything. To the sonic border, always takes a chance. To the sonic border, never think again. Nothing can survive the way to stay alive. 'Cause if you try, you can do anything.
Hell no, that is a song about a soccer team.
Yeah.
That is not a Sonic Hedgehog. There's no juice on that. I'm sorry. This is trying to sell me an action figure. D. Martin G says, I never understood Pregnant Sonic before, but I might get it now.
Yeah.
That's right, buddy.
Like, why wouldn't you want him to have your baby?
I just want him to be happy, and if that's what involves pregnancy, then good for him.
Are we doing all past, you said?
Yeah, let's do a pass.
Oh, you can't hit me. Hard to fuck it up.
Yeah. The Sonic-shaped hole is wonderful. That kicks so much ass.
Then I kind of like, now I know there's collectibles back here though, and I just want to find them.
I mean, the game won't punish you for exploring, really. The fact that they have different songs for each future, past, and present is like it makes the soundtrack huge. I think it's like 48 songs or something.
I feel like this is the same as the soundtrack in the US version. Like at least this track.
It may be.
Did the original game have a spin dash?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's
Hell
one of
yeah.
them. And if I remember correctly, one of them is important, and the other one is just like... I mean, it probably does something different, but like not for story purposes. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know which ones affect story and which ones don't. Get that bonus stage, my friend.
You cannot be Super Saiyan Sonic in Sonic CD by default. You need some sort of a modified version.
It's true. I love that it says Sonic made a good future.
Damn it.
This is a pretty divisive bonus stage, I have to say.
I like it.
I like it. It's different, though, you know? It's not ended at all like 1 or 2.
I mean, I honestly don't like 2.
Yeah, I can feel that.
It took me a while to realize that the time goes down faster if you stand in the water.
Yeah, yes.
But also timing these jumps pisses me off.
I feel like Sega was trying to get a little of that Mode 7 action here, and it's like not quite the same, but it's fine. With the power of the Sega CD, you can get busy.
Oh, god damn it. God damn it! There we go.
Yeah, baby! Did you get the Chaos Emeralds on your last playthrough?
I didn't get all of them. And do you mean time stones?
What's the difference? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Robotnik just start leaving bear traps around? He kind of did in the bonus stage. They're just, you know, fancy bear traps. We're going to the past, folks. I'm a little surprised they didn't blurify the waterfall for you.
Yeah. That should be illegal.
I mean, it's fine, but it's like, oh. I'm sure the nerds are mad about that one.
Like, what is this for? What is that spring there for?
You can jump.
Yeah, we made a good future. Let's go.
That's right. Kiss our ass. Our future is great.
I did. Sonic did what the boomers couldn't.
We need to teach seniors to run at high speeds into road signs. Ructula says, I just realized I've been playing Sonic wrong my entire life. Damn, that's a lot of pressure.
In what way?
Yeah, I don't know. How can you play Sonic raw? Wrong, not raw. What am I saying?
You can play Sonic Raw.
I spent the weekend playing Sonic raw.
I'll link you some websites.
We already mentioned Sonic pregnancy. So it's just gonna keep coming up, folks.
The YouTube video of last week's Greetings Adventures got demonetized because of pregnant Sonic.
Just like you mentioning pregnant Sonic? Or
we played at TikTok.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh my god.
Oh! Just slamming, dude. Holy shit. Nice time stone. Okay, Rutolo says, I could never get the Chaos Emeralds. Jumping around the track never occurred to me. Oh yeah, you can get kind of dirty on that one.
Oh yeah.
Mike, what's your favorite bonus stage in these Sonics?
Is it cheating to say the Sonic Mania one?
I don't think so. That's a pretty great
I like Sonic Manias, which is sort of like the one we just played, but it's more of like a race.
Yeah, that's accurate. It's a great bonus stage. My vote is it's going to be an underdog. I love the bonus stage in Knuckles Chaotix.
Oh, I don't even remember it.
It's kind of like a it's kind of like, you know the game Tempest where you're kind of in a tube?
Okay.
Just imagine you're running down a tube as Knuckles, and there are parts of the track that fall away.
Okay. Wait, are there
like
no
rotating.
Are there no enemies in that stage because I got the good?
No, I think this is the boss page. Maybe. Maybe. Now that I'm looking at it. This is also a different color than Robotnik usually is. Usually he is red. Does the catfishing stage in Sonic Adventure count as a bonus stage? No, because that is the real meat of the game. That's the good stuff.
Okay, I'm coming around on this now. Now that I know what the signs do, and it's not just like interrupting your speed to show you a shitty cutscene, which is like what it felt like. Amy Rose.
She's a freak.
She is. I just want you guys to know that I made Sonic look up for the lore. God, stop! I don't want to go to the future!
It is one of the things I like about this game, is it adds a little tension. Having to intentionally slow down as Sonic is strange.
What's up with those rings?
I don't know. Oh, I think you might be able to pull them in somehow? I don't know. What is the difference between Dr. Robotnik and Eggman? Is there a difference? I think they're just the same guy, different names.
Yes, no, they're not.
Okay.
So Dr. Robotnik, it's not even grandfather. No, like Dr. Robotnik was the original. Was the original one. I had to pause this.
Okay.
I've had this.
I was about to say, we got the pause, folks. We got the pause.
I've had this explained to me a few times. Dr. Robotnik was the original one, and then
No, but that sounds incredible.
Yeah, we had to go through I Love Lucy, and like I've still got the PowerPoint. I've been thinking about
did-
turning it into a YouTube video.
You did a full PowerPoint?
Yeah, yeah. There's you like Make Room for Daddy, Boy Meets World was involved.
What the fuck is Make a Room for Daddy?
A Make Room for Daddy was like it was an I Love Lucy spinoff.
When did they, like, in the 40s? What the fuck?
Yeah, like Saint Elsewhere is involved. Mad About You.
What's, like, the difference between this and becoming an extremely UFO guy?
not much. Basically, my rules were the basic rules were like it has to be a direct character crossover. You know, like you can't say like Let's Potato Chips shows up in multiple things, therefore they're in the same universe. That doesn't count. A character has to go from one show to the other, or game or property or whatever. But any version of a character could and usually does potentially cross over with other versions of that character. Like the Turtles constantly meet other versions of the Turtles.
That's true.
Which
That's
is how I was able to go from Power Rangers meeting the Ninja Turtles in Power Rangers in Space to X-Files, because there's an X-Files crossover comic.
Oh, holy shit, I didn't know that. That's incredible.
Yeah, X-Files Turtles crossover, yeah.
What are the other crossovers in Power Rangers? I think I know that in, like, Kamen Rider.
Yeah, and it's not even technically Kamen Rider, it's Master Rider, which is like they tried to make a new property out of it.
Oh, gotcha, okay. Like, did they Americanize Kamen Rider?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's from, like, this planet Edenoy, and the guy goes to Earth, and then with this like furry alien named, it's like Phoebus or Phoebus or something like that. And it's literally like that show failed because there was like barely any combat. It was mostly just like family antics, and then every once in a while he would transform and fight.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It was bad.
Kamen Rider is very easy to understand. It's a guy in a bug costume driving a motorcycle and murking guys. What can you get wrong?
Rutel says, "Oh, I've heard Saint Elsewhere has connections to a bunch of things." That was the main tool that I used. Is like, because Saint Elsewhere, it's like the whole thing takes place in the mind of it's in like some kid, like it takes place inside a snow globe in his mind or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's like how they ended the show. It's called the Tommy Westfall universe, if I remember correctly. Because that may have been the name of the snow globe kid or whatever. But it, like, you look at an image of it, it's hard to find like a high resolution image of it. But there's like, it's like a grid that you can use to go all sorts of places.
So were the Ninja Turtles in the snow globe? Like, how does that work? Or are you saying there's a couple steps to get there?
If you say that like that the snow globe multiverse all exists in the snow globe, then yeah, for sure.
Oh, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Maybe
we just make that a stream one night.
Let's do it.
It's not technically a game crime, but it will be a crime.
It's a crime against our viewers.
Yeah.
But they're kind of into it. I don't know. Maybe we should rock it. We did. Yeah. Rutolo said, please make that YouTube video. So you got support of the fans.
Okay. Oh, you read it.
Okay. We're waiting. Getting on the edge of that seat.
Can you do a quick call? All right, let's see what happens.
This shit's getting intense.
Yes! Okay, hello?
spoiler show, so keep it PG.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, this is my buddy TJ. He knows way more than I do. Here we go.
Okay.
Where do you want me to start about the Robotnik stuff? Do you want me to explain Dr. Robotnik's beam machine?
So the question that was
That's a Puyo game, and they use Sonic the Saturday morning. The other one, not the Saturday morning cartoon. They use the cartoony one as the visual aesthetic of that Puyo game for America. Is that what you want to know about Robotnik?
So okay, if this is going to be a long explanation, it might be better for you to jump in Discord.
Oh, what? Okay, what's the semantics of me getting into Discord?
Well, I mean, then it can just be a conversation as opposed to me holding my phone up to a microphone.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's get into the Discord.
Okay, I'll send you an invite.
Okay.
Oh
Right
my
back.
god. You have a Sonic lore guy.
Yeah, no,
What
this
the
is
hell?
worth it. This is good. Hold on.
This is incredible.
D. Martin G says, explain from the beginning. I agree.
Starman says, where do you want me to start? Yes, we do. I agree. Like, this is one of your grandest schemes.
Oh.
You're getting this info out to the people.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's important. I think that this should be taught in schools.
I respect that DJ was just ready to ball as soon as you called. Just like, no hesitation.
Anytime I've ever been like, you know what, this information's getting a little fuzzy in my brain, can you, like, take it from the top? He's always been ready to just explain in full, which I appreciate.
Okay, so where was I at? I think I believe I was talking about Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which is originally a Puyo game in Japan, and they used Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog visual aesthetics for that game. Is that what you want to know?
No, so somebody asked, I mean, yes, but somebody asked in chat, what is the difference between Robotnik and Eggman, which I know is something I've had you explain to me numerous times, and I love hearing it every time. Well, most times.
As we all know, Sonic is a multiverse. It was a multiverse explained well before the popular media of the MCU and DC and every other multiverse movie as of the past couple of years. The Sonic multiverse was well established in the early 90s, almost a parody of actually the DC multiverse. But with that in mind, seriously, there's multiple canon Sonics. There's different artist interpretation. The most basic one from the video games and one of the most popular ones from the comics are probably the ones that you want to know. Okay. Obviously, the real world answer is in Japan, he was called Eggman. In America, they called him Dr. Robotnik. And apparently, during the Dreamcast launch in Sonic Adventure, they finally decided to line that up. Kind of a Bowser, King Koopa, Peach, Princess Toadstool situation. They finally lined that up in Sonic Adventure. I believe there's a joke about Dr. Eggman, Dr. Robotnik, and it's a nickname, just making fun of his shape.
Right.
And they just kind of hand wave it away pretty quickly in their first interaction with each other, and don't really touch on which one is his real name or a nickname, and he's just called Eggman from then on.
So my personal like headcanon has always been, and I know that this isn't like technically correct, but I've always just been like, there are comic book tie-ins for all the video games.
Correct.
So I just accept the comics as the main continuity, even if it doesn't 100% fit with what's
correct.
In the games.
A lot of people who are fans of Sonic do enjoy that original Archie run. There's a lot of complicated issues about that, but in the Archie comics, including why about the multiverse, they established the multiverse. This is Dr. Robotnik and Dr. Eggman starts with the Night of 1,000 Sonics or something like that. It's a pretty early issue, pre 20s issue, where they do establish that there is a multiverse of Sonics, and there's a universe out there that there's a good Robotnik and there's evil Sonics. There's evil, all the Freedom Fighters, Sally, Tails, Knuckles, and all these evil ones, and then there's a good Robotnik. Later on, they do establish that there is a evil Robotnik, so evil that he actually successfully won and killed everybody in his universe, and he completely roboticized himself. So keep that in mind, this evil Robotnik over here. The Archie comics decided to do a grand story where they decided to kill off Dr. Robotnik in issue 50. So they do this multi-series ramp up. They actually called it Endgame. And at the end of it, this multi-issue storyline also starts with an issue called Battle Royale.
Okay.
So there's that as well. So what I'm getting at is Sonic in the 90s did all the terms and buzzwords and storylines that are popular today. So in issue 50, Dr. Robotnik is dead. He is actually dies. He himself makes a machine. I believe it's like the Annihilation Machine. I don't think they were that creative with the name of it. It was supposed to wipe out all the Freedom Fighters and everybody else, and he was supposed to win. I believe Snively, of all people, his assistant, changes it so it only affects him. It only affects Robotnik. So when he activates the device, he does the classic supervillain thing of, hey, it's too late, the device is already activated, there's nothing you can do. But the device is actually reprogrammed to just literally kill Robotnik. So Robotnik's
a suicide machine.
He makes well, he doesn't realize it's a suicide machine.
Right, yeah, but that is what it is.
At the end of the day, it is in fact a suicide machine from that perspective.
Uh-huh.
They had some other deeper storylines, like Sally was supposed to be killed off completely. But I think Sega stepped in and said, no, you cannot kill off Sally. This Robotnik thing can be solved later.
Wait, Sega, the company who because Sally is not in any of the games.
No, well, okay. I would like to correct you. She is in fact in Sonic Spinball. So is the rest of them. They appear in the mini game. So right. I don't want you to have 1,000 people email you with corrections. That would just take up too much of your time.
Uh-huh. Wasn't SSI planning a game based on the animated show too for the Genesis? That could have been
I believe the Saturn there was Sonic X. I believe there was rumors. There was like some not whole village illustrations. So there were some ideas that maybe they would try to dovetail these characters together. Which is kind of around the same time. I don't know when issue 50 was, But I think they wanted to kind of establish their own canon. So let's kill off Robotnik and then introduce a character from the Saturday morning cartoon instead. So from issue 50 through 75, there's a mysterious thing going on. They do the thing again. Everybody might be familiar with the end credits of movies now. They will show a storyline, and just in the middle of it, you'll see space. There will just be a few panels of space. And with each and every issue, for about 25 issues, this space station keeps on getting built. Bigger and bigger and bigger. And you see more and more of it, and you see a hand, and something's going on. And in issue 75, it is a classic issue with all the freedom fighters in space and like space suits and pointing you on the cover, and it is revealed after the freedom fighters decide like, hey, something's going on, something weird is going on with this. This is also the ramp up, and this is important, this is the ramp up to the Sonic Adventure tie-in comics.
Oh, okay.
So,
I didn't realize he was dead that late.
He was dead. So what? 12 issues is about a year. So he was killed off a couple years. What? 1999. So 2 years prior. So approximately 97, he was murdered.
Suicide.
Suicide. Well, Snively did it.
That's true, Snively.
Snively did it. So stuff's going on. The freedom fighters, for whatever reason, decide to go to visit the space station. And it is revealed that this evil Dr. Robotnik, who did in fact win and murdered everybody, after he won, he's like, I don't know what to do. I should go through the multiverse and go to a universe where they killed their Dr. Robotnik. So at this point, he is still called Dr. Robotnik, which I would assume he has the same lineage as the original Dr. Robotnik up until that point, which his lineage.
Is that supported in the text?
I don't know, but let's do a sidebar on this original Dr. Robotnik. His name is Julian Kindobor, as we all know. He was a warlord. He was a human, and he was a warlord, and the one who would help Princess Sally's father, King Acorn, win the war. I think it was against humans. And obviously they did the Game of Thrones backstabbery where Dr. Robotnik obviously takes over, and as we all know, King Sally gets thrown into the negative zone or the phantom zone or whatever they called it at that point. It actually did eventually become known as the special zone, as in the special stages. Where emeralds and all of that. So that's like Julian Kindobor's rise to power was, he was a human who wanted to side with the freedom fighters, royalty, and then backstabbed everybody and took over. But jumping back to issue 75, Evil Robotnik, he comes over. Because there's no Robotnik here, and I have no freedom fighter, so let's do this. And he looks like Robot. He looks exactly like Robotnik. Color scheme, shape, everything. And they think they do believe it's the return of Dr. Robotnik. And then something happens where his skin melts, and below is 100% roboticized, colorized blue and black, Now it's just the shape of Dr. Robotnik, blue and black, and that's when he then reveals, "Hey, I'm from a different dimension. I'm gonna now murder you guys." Let's do that multiverse storyline of I just want to jump from universe to universe and murder people. The Freedom Fighters say, "We're gonna stop you," and they just blow up the entire space station with him on it. And this fully roboticized Robotnik has the power to transport his consciousness from his original roboticized body into a new body back on planet Mobius. And that body, probably one of those nanotech, fake, organic, robotic. It is robotic in a way, but not just like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, but whatever nanotech is in every other medium now. Okay. So it does like show straight. Wait, say that again.
He's got like pseudo flesh.
Yeah, pseudo flesh. He had pseudo flesh up on the space station that melted. So they even show like something about like the spark. This is all from my memory. I'm not looking any of this up. It says something about they're showing like a hallway deep inside of old Robotnik's lair, and they say something about a spark awakens, and they're showing a hallway of all these different, more Eggman-like looking robots. But there's like one that's muscular, there's one that's even fatter, they're all different sizes and shapes. And then something about a spark awakens a life. And it is what we all know, collectively, as we as a society know as Eggman. And so he transports his body into what we know as Eggman. And from then on, right after that, is in fact the Sonic Adventure storyline in the comics, the tie-in. So whenever Sonic, from issue 50 75 going forward, he is fighting a Dr. Eggman that is just different universes Eggman. There's one issue where evil Eggman does pull like the soul and consciousness of that original Robotnik back into reality, and then kills him. Something happens after he wanted to team up with himself. But he definitely gets murdered. It was for a single issue.
God level hate. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I believe, again, I'm like trying to remember. This is me off of my memory. I'm not cheating. I'm not looking it up. How fun would it be if I just read a Sonic fan wiki? I believe because we also have to talk about how Sonic had a very spherical body, black eyes, and his original shoes. And how do they establish that he looks like what the green eyes and the slightly cooler shoes and a different shaped body with longer spikes?
How do you explain the Robotnik has cooler shoes? There's no way without alternate universes.
Nope. I believe the space station that he was on was sent down a beam. This does not make sense a whole lot. Sent down a beam that wanted to like murder Mobius or murder Sonic or something, and Sonic's solution was that he needs to take a Chaos Emerald on his back and basically attract the beam to him in this giant Chaos Emerald. It's like big. It's like, it is not like a small one that you hold in your hands. Like, it is strapped to his back. It is very big.
Like a super emerald.
A super emerald. And he races around the planet Mobius, multiple times, and he is going faster than he's ever gone before. He turns into supersonic. He turns into hypersonic. He turns into ecosonic and ice sonic.
Wait,
he
hold
turns
on.
Into
Don't skip right past that. What are those?
Ecosonic is green. Ice Sonic is a light blue.
That's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Sonic.
Yes. No. And again, they're doing this before. Well, obviously, Super Saiyan happened at the same time as Supersonic. But all these other ones, there was only Dragon Ball only established. I guess they established 1, 2, and 3. But then all the other GT and Super with a million other transformations. Sonic did this first. Sonic did a million different transformations first. So it literally says, so Sonic can go fast on ice. He turns into like Arctic Sonic, and Ecosonic is green, so he can run through the jungle faster. All these, a brown one that's better in the mountains. So he is doing this to attract a beam. See, this is where I'm like, how is the space station would only be 1 point in space? I guess space stations do move really fast in space. But why are you attracting the beam? I don't know why. And he's running really, 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 really fast. And I believe this is issue 62. I'm going to cheat and look. 62, Archie, Sonic. No.
Is this before or after he meets Sabrina?
We're gonna get to Sabrina in just a moment. That's 71. Issue 71 is when Sonic transforms from classic Sonic to modern Sonic. And so this beam's chasing him, or he's attracting the beam, and he's going around the planet Mobius so much, and that is their excuse. He just shows up after the running around. I don't know how he stopped the beam or captured the beam, but whatever he did, it transformed his physical being. And they do not explain why Tails has blue eyes and why Knuckles has purple eyes. I can't sleep at night. I don't know why. They weren't going through the beams. They weren't chasing the beams. It was only Sonic.
Damn.
They do explicitly say, like, they do explain that I can't do this. They explain why Sonic has 5 fingers and everybody else has 4 fingers.
They do?
Sonic and Tails have 5 fingers. They say it's like some like weird mutation thing. It's weird. It is weird because, like, what if you just never talked about it? Instead, you had to proactively bring it up.
Was
or
it
maybe
relevant to a story? Did he need 5 fingers for something?
Is during this transformation, did he just get 5 fingers in that moment? Did he get 5 fingers? But they don't explain why Knuckles and Tails. I think Knuckles at the time is turning into some like green god at the time.
The Mobius Cannonite gene, says Prancer in the chat. A+, excellent work.
Yeah. Here, I'll just read this because also what's interesting about Archie presents Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 71. The story is actually told in reverse. So, like, the first panel you see of the story is the final panel. So you're just seeing it in reverse. I'll just read you this panel. It is Sonic standing around by Sally Acorn, Princess Sally, his uncle Chuck, who's roboticized, and his 2 parents. And I'll just read this to you. They're inside of his house. Not whole village. This very second. Now let's get this straight, Sonic. You use Nate Morgan's Super Emerald to prevent that weird time beam from destroying Mobius. But I still don't understand how your appearance changed. I mean, your eyes have turned green, and your shoes now have buckles. And looks like you're gonna have to run through this one more time for us.
Jesus Christ.
And then 20 minutes earlier, and then they show the story in reverse.
So good that he points out that the shoes have buckles.
You cannot have, like Michael said, you can't explain the way of shoes without multidimensional travel.
That's right.
That's the only way.
Every time you go to Kohl's, you're breaking the time-space continuum.
Yes.
When you go to share Noble, you expect your boots to change.
Mm-hmm. What other?
Have you guys ever been to the mall and noticed the localized black hole underneath Foot Locker?
Oh, all the time. Do you want to know about Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
I mean, kinda.
Okay, so Melissa Joan Hart oh no, you want to know the other one? Sorry. The Netflix series, or when Sonic. I think they just crossed paths. I think it was like literally. I think it's a Sabrina issue and a Sonic Super Special where it's a two-parter. They just cross over. I
think they did the what's it called, that comic book cover with the Flash and Superman racing. I'm pretty sure they did a similar thing, but with Sabrina on her broom and Sonic running.
Yes, Sonic. I think they talk about that on the cover of the Sabrina issue, which I do. I of course bought that one, and the Sonic Super Special, which continues that storyline. It's a two-story volume. The other one is the Sonic Underground, which is another Sonic universe.
So that is the Saturday morning, not Saturday morning, the cartoon Sonic Underground. That's the same thing. Okay.
I think that storyline is Sonic has a mother and has a brother and sister, and her dying wish is to give her children musical instruments that have powers, and they use the power of rock to defeat enemies.
Yeah, but the song rips.
Yeah, I think we all agree that is a very good theme song. Speaking of theme songs, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog does in fact feature Halls of the Mountain King as the theme, which is a pretty epic theme. Epic score for a cartoon that has just like slapstick and Tom and Jerry-esque antics.
It's also wildly inconsistent with the scene. Like, I can't imagine that playing during a Sonic game.
No.
It would kind of kick ass, though.
It would actually be better.
You could take out half the soundtrack of Sonic Adventure 2 and just replace it with classical music.
That would be so good. Do you have any other Sonic questions?
I don't know. Does the chat have any other Sonic questions?
Just ask me.
We got questions. I've got one for you. This might require a little explanation. So, but are the characters that Ken Penders claims ownership of...
Oh God. Do you want me to just explain everything? Okay, go on. Yes, please.
The question is, are those characters canon? Or were they removed from the canon?
I mean, canon is nebulous. It's like, what is the perspective of canon? So, there is... I believe... This gets a little confusing because Evil Robotnik, as we established after 75... Robotnik, modified the planet, multiple times. I believe one of them was called the Genesis Canon, which, bravo. Wonderful writing by Ian Flynn on that one. Do people know the Ken Penders Ian Flynn thing?
I don't know if they do.
Okay, I'll do this. This is. We could spend 5 hours on this, so let's see if I can do the 5-minute version. Ken Penders, for all intents and purpose, was the original head writer of the Archie Sonic comics. There was other people involved, of course. He did not write every single issue, but he wrote a lot of them. What was interesting, and I think what really established Sonic comics as popular, and the longest continuous numbered comic book series, I believe, ever, because like Superman or a Spider-Man, they like to like reboot the numbers a lot, and they'll go back to issue 1, and sometimes there's 2 numbers happening. Sonic is, I believe, the longest running video game comic and the longest continued numbered comic book because they just didn't stop numbering them. Ken Penders pretty quickly, the first like, let's say 20 issues, it is just slapstick humor. It's inspired by the Saturday morning cartoon, which was the darker one, which don't get confused by Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which was the Tom and Jerry-esque slapstick comedy. They did air at the same time.
Baffling.
Yes. Jaleel White of Family Matters, Steve Urkel. Jaleel White was the voice actor for both Sonics for both of the cartoons. Ken Penders wrote Sonic Archie Comics, and around issue 20 and beyond that, the stories actually became a little bit more continuous. They would not be one-offs. They would have a little bit more drama, a little bit more risk, and they would start to do a lot more callbacks, maybe because they have about 2 years worth of their own canon to establish and callback and reference. Ken Penders really got focused on issue 25 is the Sonic CD video game tie-in. After Sonic and Knuckles and Knuckles Chaotix, he really established this like secondary story that was in the back of the comics of Knuckles and trying to find himself and where he's from, and it's literally a biblical Jesus allegory, like 1-to-1. Knuckles is in fact like his uncles, like great uncles, like times. We do not have time to talk about the Knuckles family tree.
Yeah, we are
gonna skip. We just look up an image, and when you see that image of Knuckles family tree, you will realize that Ken Penders did in fact invent NFTs because all the Knuckles family just looks the same but slightly modified. So Ken Penders invented. What I'm trying to get at is Ken Penders invented NFTs and the furry fandom. So. Again, take that however you will. Ken Penders does this whole Jesus storyline with Knuckles. He has a
Prancer X in the chat just said the words Jesus Christ Prower.
Jesus Christ. That is very good. That is very good. For only this group of people sitting here right now. But bravo, A+ joke. And then Sonic has this whole game, like modern day Game of Thrones. Like there is backstabbing and people are on one side and not the other. They do twists and turns on who is actually good and evil and who's gonna get killed and a lot of stuff happens. Like I said, Robotnik did die. And there was actual ramifications for that because they even talked about Sonic being like, now I don't know what to do. And that's when he goes on an adventure around the globe with Tails and all this other fun stuff. But Ken Penders established this series of characters, not Antoine de Coulest and Bunny Rabbit and Rotor and some other characters, because those were established in the Saturday morning cartoon, the darker 2-season series. So he didn't ever have the rights to those because he didn't invent them. But he did invent all of Knuckles' family tree. And Knuckles' family tree starts off with, this is actually important. Knuckles' family tree does start off with an Cain and Abel story, like 20 generations removed, of these two brothers who fight and try to murder each other. And the good brother does banish the evil brother into another. The brother does survive, but he turns into a godlike being. He sends his followers, his followers, the Dark Legion, into a portal, and this gets really weird. The portal is time dilated, so let's say there's 20 generations in the Knuckles family lineage from his uncle. His evil uncle, there's only 10 or 8 generations, maybe even less than that. So it's time dilated. It kind of gets really, really weird. So those are his 2 great uncles. And his evil great uncle has a Dark Legion, black hooded figures that want to destroy Knuckles and take over the world. I don't know. Whatever villains want to do that day. Ken Penders eventually got removed from the Sonic comics. I do not know when he took over. Ian Flynn is the replacement, and Ian Flynn is the current writer for the IDW comics. So just to cover Ian Flynn, he takes over. I'm going to just say issue 150 or something around there. Maybe 120. He takes over. He continues writing until Sonic is eventually removed from Archie licensing, and then he moved over to IDW Comics and writes just Sonic the Hedgehog again, and just starts another reboot, retelling. So Ian Flynn has been writing Sonic. He's probably 40 years old at this point. So when he took over, he was only 25 years old. And Ken Penders was removed. I don't know the details on why he was removed as the head writer and how a 25-year-old was able to, a Sonic fan was able to just take over and write his own comics. We could also look at the Christian Whitehead guy and say he just made a fan game, and then he was saying it was allowed him to make his own video game officially.
Sega's pretty they're pretty open-ended with what the fan community is allowed to do with the characters.
The Sonic Twitter account was run by a really cool person, and then I forget this animator. Me as a professional animator, I should know this person's name, but the guy who did Knuckles the Enchilada, that goofy cartoon from 15 years ago, he's the one who came in and made Ugly Sonic no longer Ugly Sonic for the movies. So they really love the fans.
That's crazy.
But one day, EA made a Nintendo DS game called Sonic Chronicles. I've not played this. This is the Sonic turn-based.
Yeah.
BioWare. But was it released? Well, isn't BioWare EA? BioWare is EA.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. BioWare's EA. Anyway, but it is by BioWare. Who doesn't want a very deep romancing RPG featuring the Sonic cast? They released a video game called Sonic Chronicles. I've not played this, but what I know is that it's a turn-based RPG, and it's a story about these echidnas that are from this dark realm, and there are these black hooded figures, and it's almost even me when this game got released, I'm like, oh, this kind of looks like the Dark Legion. And Ken Penders also thought this was very much like the Dark Legion. And so he sued EA BioWare, Sega. I don't know if he sued Archie. He probably sued Archie, because how else would he be able to pull this off? And everybody would probably say Stan Lee can't sue Marvel for the rights to Spider-Man and any other creation because you sell your rights off. Well, everything was so haphazard back in the day during this lawsuit, Ken Penders is like, I never once signed a contract that said that my creations were the rights to Archie Comics. Is that true? Is that a lie? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if there is no comment, if there's a contract, then Archie should be able to produce it.
Well, guess what? They never did. So, from a legal standpoint, Ken Penders said, what EA did was stealing my intellectual property, and Archie's like, that's ours, and he's like, no, it's not. And from what I know, it was almost one of those where Ken might have even represented himself, maybe not, but I know it was like a complete disaster in court. But because Ken Penders just sucked as a person, that doesn't matter from the judges or I don't know if it was a jury trial. A jury trial over the rights to furries. These characters were in fact awarded to Ken Penders because Archie could not produce the legal documents that did not say. So it might have also been this weird nebulous thing of we just never want to talk about this again or talk to you again because you're so annoying. So they stopped production of Sonic Chronicles. It probably was one of those things that by the time the trial was over, that game was no longer even being printed, so it didn't matter. But for anybody thinking they could remake it or remaster or just release it on a DS eShop in 5 years from now, who knows?
Sure.
But Archie was like, this is done. We do not touch any Ken Penders characters. So all of Knuckles' family, all of these extra romantic characters that that Tails was attracted to, and all these, everything's erased. None of these characters can exist. And so Robotnik at one point, I believe the Genesis Wave was the final thing right before the Archie comics got removed. There was another Death Egg and another Beam, and it basically reset the entire universe. And all these characters disappeared, and none of the characters that were left even remembered they ever existed. Except for Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and then the Saturday morning cartoon cast of Sally, Acorn, and those people. But there was no... Nate the Weasel was probably there because he's from the... If they were not established in the previous cartoon or from the games, they just did not exist. So, Ken Penders won. And that's why he has the rights. Now, I would love for you to look up, the Julie Sue Chronicles, which is a Ken Penders never published story about this alien race that just so happens to look exactly like what a Sonic the Hedgehog Echidna looks like. And he's just taking his characters and trying to just republish them as his own story. But nobody wants to print them and nobody cares because he's not a good writer. Yes. Any more questions? Or did I wear everybody out and has everybody unsubscribed from this?
Yeah.
Can we do a fundraiser right now? And the fundraiser is the more money we get, the sooner I stop talking.
Weirdly, it says that we have negative viewers.
Negative viewers?
It's really weird. I don't know how that happened.
No.
Am I wrong in remembering Ken Penders' work as unusually horny for a Sonic comic?
I mean, he wasn't the artist. So I mean, we should get into that little semantical. He could have said Sonic and Sally kiss, but somebody's the one is gonna be oh, they don't just do a peck on the cheek. Sonic's gonna bend Sally over, and Sally's physique is gonna look like this. Maybe because he's the head writer, he gets to say make these furries super horny. But where does the lineage of furries come from? Of Bugs Bunny in a dress, or just Bugs Bunny himself. Of like, does everybody look at Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse and say those are furries?
I think it just depends on the context. People could absolutely be horny for Bugs Bunny. It would be ridiculous if they weren't.
I know.
Agreed.
We've got 2 questions in the chat, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is, where does Silver the Hedgehog fit into all of this?
I think that is past when I was reading.
Okay.
That is past when I personally stopped reading. Because it is Sonic 06, so when they finally did a tie-in, it would have been the Space Year 06 or 07. By the time they actually wrote it.
I believe the plot of Sonic 06 is Silver's a hedgehog from the future coming to warn Sonic about stuff. I could be wrong.
Is he warning him that he's about to kiss a real human being?
No, I think he's like warning, if you don't follow my orders, you will never kiss a real human being.
Oh, wow. Okay, so then that's the good ending is that he kisses a real human girl, so...
That's right. Well, it's good for Sonic, I guess. He's happy.
Yeah.
They never followed up on that, and I'm grateful for it.
No, so the weird, the Archie comics established that Mobius is human Earth with humans, and that an alien race came down and were like, we hate you humans, so let's murder all the humans and have the animals evolve into humanoids, and then... But the human race had advanced enough that some of them went to space and then returned. And so that's why there are some humans within the Archie canon, such as Robotnik and a few others. Nate Morgan, and as I read from that panel, Nate Morgan's a human, and there's a handful of others. Snively's a human, but there's not a whole lot. I think one of those humans from space is also that girl from Sonic Adventure 2 with Shadow the Hedgehog and all that stuff. But the Sonic Adventure, and everybody's like, what about all the humans in Sonic Adventure? There's so many humans there. How does that work?
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure in the Archie comics takes place in a giant volcano. Yeah. A dormant volcano. And it's a secluded, private city that the aliens did not murder. Or maybe these humans came back from space and then established it. But regardless, the entire... I mean, maybe there's stuff outside the volcano. Because obviously Knuckles Island crashes nearby. So obviously stuff and landmasses take place nearby. But... it is a dormant volcano, and the sky is a virtual sky. It is not. It is. They explain it that Sonic and his friends have to go to this city. Is there a name for the city in Sonic Adventure 1?
Isn't it Hub City, or am I wrong?
Hub. Wow, very creative, guys. Hub City.
Could be wrong.
I
know that's Station Square. That's right.
I mean, Station Square, but like that's not the name of a city. Like Union Station's not the name of a city. So the sky is what they established. It's a virtual sky inside of this dormant volcano, and there's water. There's water at the bottom of this volcano in an island, and that's where this takes place. And Knuckles Island does crash next to the island, and then they had to bounce around and explain, because Archie already established that there's this ancient Knuckles society over here that's all of Knuckles' family, and then they had to do the secondary one of ancient Knuckles' family lineage of Guardians over here.
Family.
Yeah, that's a little. That's oh my gosh, Ultimate Family, I forgot. So remember how he said his great uncle got turned into a god, and his his son or whatever got thrown into with the Dark Legion into this other reality that was time shifted.
Wait, who's great uncle?
Slightly.
Knuckles.
Great uncles fought Cain and Abel style. The evil one turned into a god. I feel like you're not even paying attention anymore. Turned into a god, but the Dark Legion got sent into this Dark Legion realm and comes back out. Knuckles finds a girl called Julie Sue, and they do in fact get married. They do in fact love each other, and they do in fact have a child. So if you look at Knuckles' family tree, there's his two uncles at one point, so they are brothers. So one is technically I keep on saying uncles. One is his grandfather, times 15 or whatever, and one is his great uncle times 15. But that great uncle who's evil has a great granddaughter times 10 who marries Knuckles. So Knuckle marries his cousin many times removed.
Sure, why not?
By both space and time.
Is Knuckles' wife human?
No.
Okay.
She is a pink. You know she's a female because she's pink. That's how you know any of the echidnas are enchiladas are female because they're pink.
Okay, that makes sense.
What are the other questions in chat? Do they want me to stop?
The other question was, where does the chili dog thing come from?
I believe that was established in the Saturday morning cartoon, continued in the comic books, but that's it. It's just like I like chili dogs. It's just a throwaway thing that some writer for the cartoon wrote, and he just enjoys chili dogs. It's probably a really funny thing to say. It's never been talked about in the game. If somebody can correct me on that, I believe that is not a thing. And I don't know
Sonic
how.
Generations.
Yeah.
Wait.
Sonic
what?
Generations, he eats a chili dog.
Do you collect the seven chili dogs to get the ultimate ending?
The opening to Sonic Generations is they're having a picnic and a portal it's like Sonic's birthday or something, and they give Tails hands him a chili dog, and he opens he goes to eat it, and it gets sucked into a portal.
Is this what I've sounded like for the past hour? Is this what it sounded like? This is insane.
You're very normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. Mike's the weird one.
So it's a shiny Pokemon, shine spark situation. So for anybody that doesn't know, shiny Pokemon was invented by the fans, and then the Game Freak decided to actually start calling them shiny Pokemon in the game. And shine spark, the Metroid ability, was never established in the game until 15 years later, named that. So it's one of those where almost at the end of the day, the Sonic Saturday morning cartoon is a officially sanctioned fan project because it was made by Americans, and Sega decided to actually incorporate that canon into the games. So yes, it's just some throwaway thing. He ate chili dogs all the time. The one thing I've never figured out is was Sonic the restaurant popular in the early 90s? And was that the joke?
I think it was only in the South, but that you're not wrong about that.
Now
make chili dogs.
Now Sonic the restaurant is, I'm assuming, nationwide, but I don't know what it was in the 90s. So I don't know if that was the joke or the pun.
We didn't have any in rural Michigan, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Sonic was an exotic treat.
Yeah.
We do have a little confirmation in the chat of a few things here. Sonic likes chili dogs because his uncle used to make them before he got roboticized.
Uncle Chuck. Well, that would have probably established. Well, no, Uncle Chuck is Saturday morning cartoons. So they probably had Uncle Chuck
You're robotic
make
a
chili. Oh, I'm being roboticized right now. I'm being roboticized. Save me. Uncle Chuck was established in the Saturday morning cartoon, so I don't know what is the first appearance of Uncle Chuck owning the chili dog stand. But he definitely ate chili dogs in the Saturday morning cartoon. But did they say because of Uncle Chuck? I don't. Well, hold on. Sally is incorrectly colored twice over. Princess Sally has 3 different colors. In the first issue, she is colored differently, and then in the first, 12 issues, she's also incorrectly colored. I think the Sonic comics might have come out first before the animated series, because it does take about 1 year to produce a full animated cartoon back in the 90s. Like you would write an episode, you would animate the episode, you would send it off to get painted, you would finish it up, assembly line style, and it would take about 1 year to get a full episode completed. So I would think that it was probably faster for the comics to be written, and so I don't know which one came first of these stories. I would almost have to compare issue dates to air dates.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Prancer X in the chat says, well, you can understand why it took so long. 3D technology is still not up to modeling chili dogs.
No, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, I did.
You gotta
the
get that
opening cutscene to Sonic Generations in the chat to show everybody the chili dogs.
He even got a bite of that chili dog. I saw that.
Not in the chat, on the stream.
Prancer X also has what I will argue is the comment of the night here, which is, the human race will end neither with a bang nor a whimper. Rather, it will be vaporized by the Yif Cube from Planet Anthrocon. That's canon. That's really what happened. A+.
Issue 0 of Sonic the Hedgehog for Archie came out in November of 1992. And Saturday morning cartoon came out in September 1993. Wait, this doesn't make sense. The original run is from September 1993 and oh no, that's right. It ran for just a single year, but they were able to release 2 seasons. Yeah, okay, that's right. So the comic books came out first. So they would have had at least approximately 12 issues to establish what their canon was. I know that they were made in tandem. From what I remember is nobody at Archie said, we're going to make Princess Sally Acorn. Somebody on the Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday morning cartoon, that team was the one who said Princess Sally, Tails, Sonic, Rotor, Antoine, Bunny Rabbit. And then said, here's the design documents to Archie. And that's where the Princess Sally color was wrong, is because they didn't know what color they wanted to do. And they just ran with it, and they're like, well, it's taking us a while, and color's one of the last things we do, so we're going to just change the color to be better this way. Now, how they canonically explain that away is young Princess, in the Archie comics, young Princess Sally fell into a vat of liquid, and when she gets out, she is one color with, yellow hair and red fur for a couple of days, and then when she tries to wash it off, she has black hair with pink fur for a year, in quotes, and then her skin color goes back to normal with her brown fur. This sounds really gross that I'm talking about Princess Sally's fur color.
It's really strange that they had to go into that much detail.
They didn't.
Well,
That's the thing.
they
did not have to do that.
That's true.
They did.
It was entirely
did.
voluntary.
Yeah.
This is not a Sonic-related question, but what did the biker mice from Mars eat? I don't have an answer.
I did watch the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and I did extensively talk about Street Sharks, biker mice from Mars, and the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. I cannot spend more hours talking about that today. I apologize.
No, that's okay.
Can everybody just please look up the Vin Diesel Street Sharks promotion? Where Vin Diesel in the 90s was promoting Street Sharks.
Hell yeah.
Can we, but
Insert
the one
the
thing we
clip
did,
of him from Triple X saying the things I'm gonna do for my country.
yeah, and then something about family and, but we can talk about stone protectors. Does anybody want to talk about stone protectors?
That was the troll adventure show, right?
Yeah.
Action
Okay.
trolls.
June, how the
Yes.
fuck do you get to the past in Wacky Workbench? Because there's no place to run.
You have to get to the tops of the shelves. Are the only places you can really.
This is like day 2 of you talking to me about Wacky Workbench.
It is, because it's like the worst level.
It is.
Do you think Mattel, after the success of Barbie, do you think they're going to make a Polly Pocket movie and a Mighty Max movie?
They already are making a Polly Pocket movie, aren't
Yep.
they?
There.
Okay, well,
It's
where's
not like
where's the Mighty Max movie?
That's a good question.
I need the Mighty Max movie.
It would just be like a movie about like a kid being eaten by monsters. Which I guess now that I'm saying it out loud, so it's kind of that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good premise.
I can't remember what else happened in that show. That like kids got eaten by monsters. What happened to the SWAT cats? The SWAT cats also ate pizza. They were just normal guys. They were chilling.
I mean,
They like catnip.
I would say SWAT Cats is further from the TMNT. I would put SWAT Cats closer to a Gargoyles. But
SWAT Cats is very Batman the Animated Series inspired too.
yeah, but like Gargoyles is also kind of inspired by that. But like I also probably would say that maybe a Gargoyles and a SWAT Cats also wouldn't exist if TMNT didn't exist, of these anthropomorphized creatures and monsters doing their thing in the shadows. But like clearly Street Sharks is like 1-to-1. Let's Mad Libs this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I apologize for all your British fans. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. That's what we're talking about now.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't want people to be.
There's like British viewers being like, "What the fuck is
What?
that ninja?
What?
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 You're just very upset and offended by the word ninja.
I just didn't want them. I don't want all your fans to be confused. Like, I know that you have a huge British fan base.
We have a British
you know,
fan in the stream. Y'all need to go to bed.
yeah, they have very good. They have such good humor. There's an extra U in there, and they favorite metal is aluminium. Was this offensive to British people? I don't want to I don't want to be canceled by making fun of British people, so I do want to proactively
How
apologize.
do you want to be canceled?
Yeah, go into
Okay.
please.
This is. I never wait. Is this a podcast? What? Wait, I thought this was a phone call with me and your friends.
Mike, you did
I don't.
it again.
What,
Did you actually want an answer for that?
yeah, I would give my time to my best friend and their best friend. I would give as much information about Dr. Robotnik and his Mean Bean Machine as possible.
That's true. I want you to know that I've like forgotten somehow more than you've told us.
I think this was the goal.
Yeah, and it's not the last time that I'll ask you to go over all this.
No, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the end. We have entered the end game.
Tune in next week when we're gonna go in depth into Bulk and Skull lore.
Didn't they get like sent to the other side of the galaxy and then somehow show back up?
Yes.
That I can't.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lost Galaxy. They're seen boarding Terra Venture off to find a new habitable planet, but it turns out Earth is still totally fine because we go back to the next series.
It's a different. Isn't it a different universe? And isn't there one where they all like the Earth is destroyed, so they all have to enter like a bubble city? But those are like different universes, right?
You would think so, but then they just have crossovers with those that's RPM where they have the
but
Mad Max.
The multiverse is a thing.
Yeah, but they don't explain it that way. They're just
okay. Here's what the
RPM Rangers. We know who you are.
This is what I really want to know, because Super Sentai. I'm going to be canceled for this. I assume each season is a discrete storyline and they don't have a continuation. So each Sentai series is a new cast and the people who play them are different people. At least for the ones that I am familiar with. So there's some clips of Super Sentai. When they show team up of Rangers in America, so Power Rangers, when they show them, what happens when they show like the White Ranger standing next to the Green Ranger? Like, because Super Sentai would shoot the footage and be like, yo, the Green Ranger is just this guy and the White Ranger is this kid, because the White Ranger in Super Sentai is a child. That's why his dagger talks for him, because he doesn't want to be revealed as a child.
Right.
Even though he physically turns into a larger human being, just like the Blue Ranger in Turbo. I don't know why his voice doesn't change. That's weird. But Super Sentai would most likely shoot footage of what we know as Tommy standing next to another version as we know as Tommy. So how does that work? Plus, especially with Tommy appearing as a constant throughout the series.
I'm trying to think of I know there's like Sentai footage where they're both together, but I'm trying to think if there's any examples in American Power Rangers where they're on screen at the same time.
Is there ever, because I know there's the Forever Red, that would be the Red Rangers, but I do remember there's some clip of like them all standing on a hillside and each of the different Sentai groups are just standing there, and you would see our Power Rangers, our Mighty Morphins.
I forget what the name of that battle is. Legendary Power Rangers Legendary Battle.
And the Billy, because Billy was the Blue Ranger for a very long time, more than most of them, and they would also have to account for that.
I think the way that they explain. Okay, yeah. So here we go. I'm looking at the Legendary Battle, and they show. Remember when this was supposed to be a Sonic CD stream? That's weird.
It still kind of is.
Still kind of is.
Kind of.
So they show like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show up, and like you can explain that away because like there's so many different characters that were those Rangers. But then they show Zeo and Red is missing.
In the Power Ranger footage, they would digitally alter and composite him out.
I mean, I haven't watched the Japanese version of it. I can look at that. Let me see.
Because the Japanese version would never proactively do that. He has to be digitally altered. They can as a as my literal job, it's possible. It's annoying to do,
Yeah.
but like they're also modifying a lot of different footage. That was the whole point.
Oh, you know what it is? It's extra footage. So
What do you mean?
they have the footage of like all of them in the battlefield, but like in the Sentai version, it looks like they just cut directly to that. But they added the buildup of like all the individual teams showing up in Power Rangers.
So,
Like I'm watching them
the
back to back.
people on the hillside was bespoke and shot for American audiences only, so they did account for which ones would overlap.
Correct. But that being said, when they show the... Hold on. Let me pause and look at the... let's see. I'm trying to find Zeo in the picture. Where the fuck are they? There's in space. That's SPD, Lightspeed, Alien Rangers... Oh, weird. Okay, so I'm looking at... No, those aren't Zeo. Where the fuck is Zeo in this? Yeah, so, okay, there it is. When they show the, full battle of everything, it looks like Red is still there. Like Zeo Red, which would be Tommy, which would be the Green Ranger / the White Ranger / etc.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So he is shown in Power Rangers or Sentai?
I was looking at Sentai, but let me...
I mean, they could cut around it, but also at the end of the day, do they at some point do they even care?
Oh, this is a good shot right here. Hold on. Let me get this. I'm gonna add this into the... June, what's your knowledge of Sentai lore, Sentai / Power Rangers?
Fucking zero, dude. Less than zero. I've asked you questions.
That's
I think
true.
Bulk and Skull were apes at one point in time. Is that true?
They were.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. That it about starts and ends there.
Okay, so they've got everybody up on the hill. Zero
Run
Red is
up that
missing there.
hill. Can we talk about both the Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers at the same time for just a moment?
I think Mike's in his bag if you're there.
So, Chaim Saban, the quote-unquote creator of the Power Rangers, who said, I'm going to take this Super Sentai footage and edit it to become what we know as Power Rangers. Saban, he is the guy who made the Inspector Gadget music. So go, Gadget, go. And because of that, and the success of that music and his love for his own song, he requested that the Power Ranger theme feature the word "go" in it, so it would have the same success. Which that song slaps. The Power Ranger theme song is insane for a 90s cartoon. People are just moshing.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
They're doing some Steve Vai shit on that song.
And then now, does anybody know who did the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song?
You?
No, yeah, I did. Yep. I'm here. Chuck Lorre, the creator of Two and a Half Men and Big Bang and Young Sheldon and every other CBS sitcom for 2 decades, is the writer, producer of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song. And from what I remember, Paramount finally acquired the rights to the original 90s cartoon, so they can now distribute it and not have to license it. They own it. But I think there's some weird thing about the theme song that Chuck Lorre still has the rights to that. So I don't know. CBS goes up into Paramount, and all of Chuck Lorre's properties go to that. So I don't know. Write him a check, and you've already given him enough money, so.
Free the art, Chuck Lorre. You know, think about the future. Think about your children, whether or not they're going to be able to appreciate your theme song.
Yeah.
Open your heart, bro.
Yeah.
That theme song is really good, but it does not erase the man's crimes.
How good would a theme song have to be?
Which of the guys were the half man on the show? Was that the joke? Was the joke that we did not know which one was the half man?
Kind of like Who's the Boss?
It's like I don't even. Please do not spoil Who's the Boss for me. I did not finish it, so I actually did not find out who was the boss.
They revealed it in the last episode.
Yeah.
I think that the person who wrote the theme songs for like Yu Yu Hakusho could kill me. I'd be fine with it.
Oh my!
Oh,
can we do
you mentioned which themes would be good enough to like excuse crimes. There's a few.
Have I ever told you the thing that I really hate about Yu Yu Hakusho?
That it's
nothing.
It was like one season.
No, that there was a movie, and they didn't call it Yu Yu Haka movie.
Is this what the show is? Is it this?
Is that the joke that I'm late for my family photo tonight?
You just talk about. Oh, but don't stop. Don't. We could just reference. I think we should leave for the rest of the show. Yeah. But I also want to talk about Yu Yu Hakusho.
It's goated. It's like the best show ever. I don't know. I have nothing else to say. That show's just about like really dumb people beating each other up, and I have an infinite.
Isn't that the plot of Naruto, Dragon Ball, and One Piece?
No, there are talking and feelings in those shows. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Wait, is there? There's no feelings in Yu Yu Hakusho?
No, it's just like I should get more upset and more pissed off at whoever I'm fighting, and then I'll kill him. And then you do. Until the fourth season, yeah.
Isn't the full plot line of that like in a single sentence? Is a guy dies, so he has to just fight in like an underworld tournament? Like that's just the whole through line.
No, he has to redeem himself by kicking everyone's ass. Like he has to earn his way back to life by doing good things. But the only good things that he's capable of doing are just like wailing on dudes.
Yeah.
And then the fourth season he has to kill his dad.
Oh, spoilers. Can somebody explain to me Tenchi Muyo, and how that established like also a multiverse theory of like the same casting characters are reestablished each seasons as like slightly alternate versions of themselves in different settings and places and relationships? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I know what Tenchi Muyo is, but all I know is that it's like a harem anime for a guy with a lightsaber.
Does he have a lightsaber? Oh, he does. It's like a broken stick, and it's just a laser beam.
I didn't look at the chat yet, but Jaime just said Tenchi is a reverse harem with lightsabers. About that.
Oh wait, how is it a reverse harem?
I don't think he wants any of the attention from women at all, if I remember correctly. He's totally just not into it. He wants to just practice with his lightsaber.
Is that a euphemism?
It's anime, yes, of course.
He doesn't want the women, instead wants to play with his lightsaber.
Yeah.
June,
I've also heard it's really bad.
did I ever
What?
make you watch the fight scene, the final fight scene from Forever Red?
I've watched that when it originally aired, my friend.
Oh my god!
Is
Yeah,
this-
you told me that was a nighttime. That was
wait.
a nighttime airing, right?
Yes,
I have
it
a
was.
question.
An excellent tip.
What are we actually doing here? Is this a live stream? Is it being permanently recorded? Is it becoming a podcast? What is my voice going into?
It'll
Just
go up
like-
into YouTube if you're cool with it.
Yeah.
But like,
Ugh.
that's it.
I don't
you haven't
think
been
I-
identified.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you've never actually said my name. Okay, let's leave it as that, because when I run for president one day, I don't want the thing to be as this guy talked about Sonic the Hedgehog for multiple hours.
They're gonna figure it out because that's gonna be your platform.
I 100%
Sonic
Sonic
lore.
the Sonic lore. Sonic the
Word
president.
for like 50% of this country.
Yeah.
You would win, I think.
I would
Everybody
win.
needs a Sonic Sona.
Yeah.
And the
What's
Sonic
every-
Appeal.
What's everybody's persona?
Is this the question for the chat? What's everyone's persona in the chat?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, drop them.
Oh, see, multiple people in the chat saying I would vote for a Sonic fan.
There you
Platform
go.
Open, baby.
See? Okay.
That's at least two people.
You got to be careful with that though, because that whole thing where like Mitch McConnell went catatonic is because he was thinking about Sonic.
Okay, we're getting close to getting canceled here.
Catasonic.
Hey,
Wow. Big the cat.
Big the catatonic senator.
All I know is Ken Penders doesn't own Big the cat.
He shouldn't. Get it away from him. I don't want Big the Cat to have romantic relationships. He should be chilling.
He's just vibing.
Oh, the chat is lighting up on what the personas are, which I
Man.
did not expect. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, see?
We got. I'm from Ohio, so my persona is an opossum. Fair. My persona is just a bear.
Yeah.
I like that. A corvid of some types, probably a raven. That makes sense. Oh, someone says I could be Big the Cat. There's no law. There's no law against me, Big the Cat. I don't think.
Can it be a fursona if it's feathers? It's not technically fur.
I mean, yeah.
Fur's feathers. They're just really light feathers. Light fur.
Feather sona?
That's probably a thing. Isn't scaly a thing?
Scale sona?
Yeah. Like if you have a lizard interest.
Wait, you've been playing Sonic the Hedgehog this entire time?
Well, I'm now just like literally just displaying Forever Red off of YouTube.
Showing Power Rangers clips. Okay, here we go. Technical term is feathery and reptiles are scalies. I knew about the scalies.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Respect to all of them, by the way. We're not making fun of y'all.
What about fish and other sea life?
Well, fish have scales. So that makes
Not
sense.
all hashtag not all sea life.
Well, that's true. But like I don't know, I guess if you were trying to be like a sea anemone or something, that's kind of interesting. Respect.
It's true. You just
That's
like
a broad category.
you just love coral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coral's an
Honestly,
animal. Coral's
that-
an animal.
Yeah, and it matches my lifestyle. I'm just chilling out and cultivating.
You're not moving. A
No.
lot of people walk by you and think you're a plant.
Hell yes. It's great. I'm getting real crusty with time.
All right. Well, it is past midnight. I think we set out what we wanted to do, which is where I said it.
Please like, rate, and subscribe. Please comment below.
Well, it's happened again. You've wasted another perfectly good hour with Car Talk. Yeah, no, I said at least one nice thing about Sonic CD, and then we talked about Sonic lore for the rest of it.
That's true. Hey, we had a solid 3 minutes of talking about how awesome Sonic Boom is.
Oh, if I would have known this. Oh, well, no, Sonic Boom.
That's
Doesn't
the
Sonic Boom?
intro to Sonic CD, not the cartoon Sonic Boom.
Yeah, just the little anime intro with the rock song,
Wait,
which is sweet.
the intro to the TV show or the video game?
The video game.
The intro to the U.S. version of Sonic CD.
Oh, I don't think I've watched that.
It's real good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's really good. It's really
And
sweet.
it has the song Sonic Boom, and then they came out with the show Sonic Boom, and they didn't reuse the song.
Oh, you. Oh, sorry. I thought you said the anime intro to Sonic Boom, which I said I did not watch that. I understand what you're saying. The Sonic CD animation intro is one of the best animations ever made. I have seen that. I do not want to get canceled on my Sonic President platform. Me as an animator, that is one of the best animations I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So we got a request for more Sonic lore next week, by the way.
Wait, what? Like, what else? I think I exhaustively talked about literally everything. What else do you want to know?
We didn't get into fan fiction at all.
We could play through Sonic Chronicles.
Contenders will come to your house.
Oh, I don't think they could stop
it.
us from playing it.
I don't know. If you read anything about Ken Penders, he might actually stop you from playing.
Is it? Can I just like hit up Ken Penders on social media, see if we can get him for next week?
He
That would be so
apparently
sweet.
does respond to some people. So if you want to just start this nightmare,
I don't know that I do.
I mean, we're already halfway there.
It's true.
So what's my residual checks? Like, the writer strike's going on, so like, how much am I going to get paid for my appearance here, and how does my residual checks work for each of you?
Yeah, we'll talk about that off air because I'm trying to go to bed.
Okay,
But
I'll just
thank you for the lore drop. This is
yes, new lore drop,
Yeah.
more than humans can comprehend.
Did you see that? It was like I don't know if it was a tweet or something where it was like long line at the grocery store. New grocery must have dropped.
That's good.
Real good.
Okay, I'm taking the stream offline. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Night, y'all. Take care.
Leave a like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe.